Blood trickled down Ethan's temple as two guards dragged him across the polished obsidian floor. The battle had been brutal. His squad ambushed on what should have been a routine reconnaissance mission at the edge of Xanthian space. Now he was the sole survivor, hauled before the ruler of a species humanity had been at war with for 3 cycles. The throne room stretched impossibly high, with crystalline structures that caught and fractured light into mesmerizing patterns. Armed sentinels lined the walls, their exoskeletons gleaming under the ethereal glow of bioluminescent orbs floating above. Then he saw her. Queen Valora rose from her throne, her movements fluid and predatory. Unlike the segmented insectoid features of her warriors, she was startlingly humanoid, statuesque with curves that defied Ethan's expectations. Her skin was a smooth, deep purple that seemed to shimmer as she descended the steps. Long, wavy dark hair cascaded past her shoulders, framing a face of alien yet undeniable beauty. Her eyes, completely black except for violet irises that seemed to pulse with their own light, fixed on him with unsettling intensity. "So this is what the humans send to spy on my domain?" Her voice was melodic, almost hypnotic. "I'm a soldier, not a spy." Ethan spat through gritted teeth, struggling against his restraints. The queen approached, circling him like a predator. The court watched in tense silence. She was feared, he realized, even by her own kind. "Remove his armor," she commanded. Ethan struggled as the guards stripped away his tactical gear, leaving him in only the thin undersuit that clung to his muscled frame. His body bore the marks of a warrior, scars from previous battles, burns from energy weapons, the unmistakable signs of someone who had survived what should have killed him. The queen's slender fingers traced a particularly vicious scar that ran across his chest. "This one nearly took your life," she observed. "Yet you survived." Her touch was electric, sending an involuntary shudder through him. Shame and anger burned within him at his body's response. "Humans are resilient," she continued, her exploration becoming more intimate. Her hand slid lower over his abdomen, then lower still. The court watched in stunned silence as their queen's intentions became clear. When her hand found what she sought, a smile curved her purple lips. Leaning close, her breath warm against his ear, she whispered words only he could hear. "This is mine now. You are mine now." The declaration echoed through the chamber as she straightened, addressing her court. "This human will not be executed or imprisoned. He is claimed by the crown." Murmurs rippled through the assembly, a mixture of shock and understanding. Ethan didn't comprehend what was happening, but the hunger in the queen's eyes told him enough. "Take him to the royal chambers," she commanded. "Tend to his wounds." As the guards led him away, Ethan's mind raced. Was this some form of psychological torture? A new interrogation technique? Whatever game the alien queen was playing, he would not break. He was a soldier of Earth, trained to resist enemy tactics. Yet as he was escorted through the winding corridors of the palace, the queen's whispered claim echoed in his mind, sending unwelcome heat through his veins. Something primal had awakened between them, something dangerous and forbidden. And deep in the shadows of the royal court, ancient eyes watched with calculation and fury, for the queen's choice had set events in motion that would shake the foundations of their world. The royal chambers were nothing like the prison cell Ethan had expected. Spacious and luxurious, the room featured a massive bed draped with shimmering fabrics that seemed to change color with every movement. Attendants, all female with varying shades of purple and blue skin, cleaned and treated his wounds with surprising gentleness. None spoke to him directly, but he caught their furtive glances, a mixture of curiosity and something else he couldn't identify. "Why am I here?" he demanded, but received only downcast eyes in response. Hours later, Queen Valora entered, dismissing the attendants with a fluid gesture. She had changed from her formal regalia into something more intimate, a gossamer gown that revealed more than it concealed, clinging to her curves like a second skin. "You must be confused." "Human," she said, approaching the bed where he sat, still restrained by energy cuffs. "Ethan," he corrected. "My name is Ethan Kovach, Commander, Earth Defense Force." "Commander Kovach," she repeated, savoring the name. "I am Valora, 7th Queen of the Xanthian Dominion. What do you want from me?" "Information? I won't betray my people." She laughed, a sound like chiming crystals. "If I wanted information, there are far more efficient methods than this." She gestured to the opulent room. "No, I want something else entirely." She circled the bed, her predatory grace never more evident. My species faces a crisis, Commander. Genetic degradation. Each generation grows weaker than the last. Our scientists determined the cause centuries ago. Insufficient diversity in our breeding pool. Ethan tensed as understanding dawned. I'm not here as a prisoner. I'm here as a mate, she finished, her violet eyes flashing. Our first contact with humans revealed something fascinating. Genetic compatibility. Rare among starfaring species. She released his restraints with a touch to a control panel on her wrist. You could have been executed today. Instead, I offer you a position of power at my side. As a breeding stud? His voice was laced with disgust, though his body betrayed him as she approached. As my consort, she corrected, sliding onto the bed beside him. The father of a new lineage. Your strength, your resilience, these are qualities my people desperately need. Her hand traced the defined muscles of his chest, fingers exploring every scar. And I've chosen you specifically. Your warrior spirit calls to me. Despite himself, Ethan felt desire building within him. Whether pheromones or something else, he couldn't deny the powerful attraction. And if I refuse, you won't, she said with complete confidence, leaning in to press her lips against his neck. Your body already answers what your mind resists. Her touch sent electricity through him, a pleasure so intense it bordered on pain. When her hand slid lower, finding him hard and ready, she smiled against his skin. See? Mine, she whispered. Logic told him to resist, but as her purple skin pressed against his, as her dark hair fell around them like a curtain, he found his hands moving of their own accord, exploring the alien curves of her body. This is madness, he breathed as she straddled him, her eyes glowing with triumph. This is evolution, she countered, claiming his lips in a kiss that sealed his fate. Outside the chamber, the palace buzzed with the implications of the Queen's choice. In the royal council room, a senior advisor named Drex pounded his fist on the table. She goes too far. Taking a human to her bed, it's an abomination. But others saw opportunity, a new future for their failing species. And in the shadows, assassins were already being paid, for not everyone welcomed change. A week passed in a blur of carnal discovery. Ethan found himself adapting to his new reality with disturbing ease. By day, he was introduced to the intricacies of Xanthian culture and politics. By night, he learned the contours of Valora's body, the ways to make her violet eyes glow with pleasure. You're a natural diplomat, Valora observed as they reclined in the massive bathing pool, her purple skin glistening with moisture. My court advisors are impressed. Stockholm Syndrome, Ethan replied, though without conviction. The truth was more complicated. He found himself genuinely fascinated by Xanthian society, and the Queen was unlike any woman, human or alien, he had ever known. Valora glided through the water to him, her naked form pressing against his. Is that what you tell yourself? That you're merely adapting to captivity? Her lips found his neck, sending shivers down his spine. Your body speaks a different truth. Her hand slid beneath the water, finding him already hard for her. See? Your desire cannot lie. Later, as they lay entangled in the royal bed, Valora traced patterns on his chest. Tomorrow you'll accompany me to the Council of Houses. It's time they formally acknowledge you. As what exactly? As my chosen consort, the future father of my heirs. The weight of her words hung between them. Creating children with her would irrevocably tie him to this world, to her people. My duty is to Earth, he said, though the words felt hollow now. She rose on one elbow, studying him. Is it? Your people abandoned you. No rescue attempts, no negotiation for your release. You are presumed dead, Commander. Her words stung because they rang true, standard protocol for his unit. No rescue operations behind enemy lines. Perhaps your true destiny lies here, she continued, her voice softening as she pressed her body against his once more. With me. Morning brought new tensions. As they prepared for the council meeting, Valora's chief handmaiden Kira approached Ethan privately. Be careful today, she whispered, checking that they were alone. Not all welcome the Queen's choice. Who opposes her? Ethan asked, instantly alert. House Drex leads the opposition. They believe mixing with humans will weaken our bloodlines, not strengthen them. Kira's eyes darted nervously. There are whispers of assassination. The Council of Houses convened in a magnificent chamber with 12 crystalline seats arranged in a circle. Valora sat upon the largest, with Ethan standing at her right hand. Representatives from the noble houses filled the other seats, their expressions ranging from curiosity to outright hostility. Lord Drex, a tall Xanthian with unusually pale lavender skin, spoke first. Your Majesty, while we respect your personal choices, elevating a human to royal consort violates centuries of tradition. Traditions that have left our species on the brink of collapse, Valora countered. The genetic analysis is conclusive. Human DNA contains elements that could reverse our degradation. At what cost? Drex demanded. Our purity? Our identity? As the debate heated, Ethan noticed a subtle movement in the shadows above. Acting on instinct, he lunged, pushing Valora aside just as an energy bolt sizzled through the space where she had been sitting. Chaos erupted. Royal guards flooded the chamber as Ethan shielded the queen with his body. 3 more bolts fired before the would-be assassin was caught, a member of House Drex's personal guard. In the aftermath, as the assassin was dragged away, Valora looked at Ethan with new appreciation. You saved my life, she said, her voice carrying through the now silent chamber. Instinct, he replied, suddenly aware of the dozens of eyes upon them. No, she said, taking his hand and placing it over her lower abdomen with meaningful intent. You protected your future. The assassination attempt changed everything. House Drex was stripped of its council seat, its assets seized, its members imprisoned. Ethan found himself elevated from curiosity to hero in the eyes of many Xanthians, though others remained wary. You've created quite the political upheaval, said Talon, Valora's military commander, as they observed combat training in the palace courtyard. Unlike most Xanthians, Talon had shown Ethan respect from the beginning. Soldier to soldier. Not my intention, Ethan replied, watching Xanthian warriors practicing with energy weapons similar to those Earth forces used. Intentions matter little in politics. Results are everything. Talon gestured to the warriors. They train differently since your arrival. Your human tactics have proven effective, it was true. Ethan had begun advising on military matters, sharing Earth combat strategies that the Xanthian forces had never encountered. It felt like betrayal sometimes, but Valora had promised these techniques would only be used defensively, never against human colonies. The Queen is with child, Talon said abruptly, studying Ethan's reaction. Shock rendered him momentarily speechless. She hasn't told me. She will tonight. Our physicians confirmed it this morning. Talon's expression was unreadable. The first human Xanthian hybrid. Many see it as the dawn of a new era. Others... He left the implication hanging. That evening, in their private garden overlooking the capital city's glittering spires, Valora confirmed the news. Our child grows strong already, she said, guiding his hand to her still flat stomach. The physicians say the genetic integration is perfect, better than they dared hope. Ethan felt conflicting emotions surge through him. Pride, fear, confusion about his loyalties, and beneath it all an undeniable joy. Is this why you chose me? For breeding potential? Valora's eyes flashed with momentary anger. Initially, perhaps. Your genetic profile was exceptional. But this, she gestured between them. What has grown between us is more. You must feel it too, he couldn't deny it. Despite everything, he had fallen for this alien queen, her strength, her vision, her passion. What happens when my people discover I'm not only alive, but have fathered a half-Xanthian child? They'll see it as treason. Or as the first step toward peace, she countered. Think, Ethan. Our child will be the bridge between worlds, with claim to both human and Xanthian heritage. Later that night, as they made love with new gentleness, mindful of the life growing within her, Ethan finally admitted the truth to himself. This was no longer captivity. He had chosen this path, chosen her. Afterward, as Valora slept, a hidden communication device he had discovered weeks earlier and never reported pulsed with an incoming message. Earth forces had finally tracked him, offering extraction. Ethan stared at the message for a long time, then at Valora's sleeping form, her hand protectively covering her womb even in sleep. With a decisive movement, he crushed the device, his choice made, unknown to either of them. Deep in the dungeons beneath the palace, Lord Drex received a visitor, a human operative. Earth wants the Queen eliminated and the commander returned, the operative whispered. Drex smiled coldly. Our interests align then. Help me escape and I will ensure both our goals are met. Dawn broke over the capital with ominous red light. Ethan woke to find Valora already dressed in her battle armor, her face grim. "Earthships have entered our system," she announced. "A full battle fleet." Ethan's blood ran cold. "How?" "The nearest human outpost is weeks away at maximum speed. Unless they've been planning this for months." Her eyes held accusation. "Did you know?" "No," he answered truthfully. "But I may have inadvertently led them here." He explained about the tracking device he'd destroyed, watching her expression shift from betrayal to understanding. "We must face them together," she said finally. "Show them what we have built." The palace shook as planetary defenses engaged. Reports flooded in. Earth forces had breached the outer defensive ring. Dropships were deploying ground troops. "This isn't just a rescue mission," Ethan realized. "It's an invasion." As they rushed to the command center, an explosion rocked the corridor ahead. Through the smoke emerged Lord Drex, flanked by human soldiers and escaped Xanthian prisoners. "The traitor and his alien whore," Drex snarled. The lead human soldier stepped forward. "Colonel Hayes, Ethan's former commanding officer." "Commander Kovacs, you're being extracted." "Stand down." "I'm not going anywhere, Colonel," Ethan replied, positioning himself protectively in front of Valora. "The situation has changed." "You've been compromised," Hayes said flatly. "Stockholm Syndrome, alien manipulation, doesn't matter. You're coming home." "This is my home now," Ethan declared, drawing the Xanthian blade at his hip. "And that's my child the Queen carries." Shock registered on Hayes's face, quickly replaced by disgust. "Then you leave us no choice." The fight was brutal but brief. Ethan and Valora fought as one, their movements perfectly synchronized from months of intimacy. When it ended, Drex lay dead and Hayes was disarmed and kneeling. "Listen to me, Colonel," Ethan said urgently. "This war benefits no one. The Xanthians need our genetic diversity. We need their technology. There's a path to peace here. Through miscegenation," Hayes spat. Valora stepped forward, regal despite the battle. "Through understanding. Through family." She placed a hand on her stomach. "This child will have claim to both worlds. Will you deny it that birthright?" A tense silence followed, broken by an incoming transmission. Earth's fleet commander, monitoring the ground situation, demanded an update. Hayes looked between Ethan and Valora, then at the destruction around them. Finally, he made his choice. "Admiral, this is Colonel Hayes. I'm with Commander Kovacs and his wife, Queen Valora. Request immediate ceasefire for diplomatic negotiations." 3 months later, on the newly established neutral space station orbiting between Earth and Xanthian space, representatives from both species signed the first peace accord in a generation. At its center stood Ethan and Valora, her pregnancy now visible, a living symbol of what could be achieved. "They're calling it the Hybrid Accord," Talon reported, showing them the news feeds from both worlds. "Not the most elegant name, but accurate." "History will refine it," Valora said confidently, her hand entwined with Ethan's. "What matters is that it holds." Later that night, as they lay in their quarters aboard the station, Ethan placed his hand on Valora's swollen belly, feeling their daughter kick. "From prisoner to peace broker," he mused. "Not quite the military career I imagined." Valora's violet eyes glowed with amusement and love. "When I first saw you in my throne room, when I claimed you in front of my court, when you whispered mine, I had no idea how true those words would become," she finished, drawing him into a kiss. Outside their window, ships from both fleets patrolled peacefully side by side, a new era dawning in their wake. What had begun as captivity had transformed into something neither species could have imagined. A future where us and them slowly evolved into we. And in Valora's womb, the first child of that future grew stronger each day, waiting to inherit the stars her parents had fought to share.